Okay. Okay, I hope the screen is visible, right?
Yes, visible.
Okay, great. So first thing, um, let me open Postman. Uh, there are two things. One question was asked by Nadia, and I want to discuss two things in Postman tool. One being the settings. When we click on settings icon and then click on settings option, here you will find HTTP version. And on the left hand side, you'll find general themes, shortcuts, data, add-ons, certificates, proxy, update, and about. You will be working on general and proxy. Proxy is when you are working in a project in a company. Then they will provide you the proxy details where you need to use custom proxy configuration. You need to highlight this, I mean, enable this option. Then you need to put in the details. If you are using on your own laptop, personal laptop, then you don't need this configuration to be set up. It's only for the companies. Okay. And the next thing is general, where you can see which version is used for sending and receiving messages. Okay, the request, uh, I mean the sending, and also you can see the request timeout. If the request takes longer, then the response will be timed out. I'll show you an example of this. Okay, and the maximum response size, it should not be more than 50 MB. Okay, this is all default. You need not to make changes to any of these, just for your own knowledge. Okay, and SSL certificate verification, which is also not required because it's already verified by the postman. But when it is asked by the company or by the project, then you can go ahead and enable this option, or else it is really not required. And request validation is enabled. Okay, and response format detection, I mean, whenever the response is in JSON or HTML or text or JavaScript, it will auto detect it. The response will be auto detected. So this is also, I mean, just this is all default. I'll show you the example, I mean, of this request timeout, how exactly it is. And also headers is fine, user interface. Okay, here font size. If you see the font size is less, I mean, if it is very small, then you can make changes to it. You can make it as 24. If I make it 24 and close it, then you can see the font size has been increased. You don't, it will not increase these sizes. I mean, the default ones, which are the collection name. It is only under the request and the response, the font size changes. Nothing else changes. So I'll get back it to make it back to 14. Okay. Now, now you can see 14. Now, okay. When I ran this response, okay, what is the time that it took for the response? I mean, how much time it took? 1.05 seconds, right? Okay. Now, if I go ahead and make changes here, request timeout to be 1 second, okay, 1 millisecond, okay, 1 millisecond, which is not correct, but still, just for an example, okay, if the request should time out if I don't get a response in 1 millisecond, which is very, very, very fast, okay. So, and I close this. Now, when I run this, you can see this response has timed out. Okay, the error being said, response has timed out. So, this is just an example, but when you see in actual APIs, when there is an error said response has timed out, it means the response was not given in the defined time. Okay, when developers create any APIs, they might give a response time of a response should be given within 3 seconds or 2 seconds. And if the response doesn't come in 3 or 2 seconds, then you will see this error request timed out. But here is just an example which I have given. So I'll take it back to 0. Why 0? Because set how long a request should wait for a response being timed out. To never time out, set to 0. So I, to make sure that I, to never time out, I have set it to 0. But if your uh, documentation says that the request should time out if the response doesn't get in 1 second or 2 seconds or 3 seconds, then make changes in here and then try to test that API. Okay. And now I'll send it once again. This was the question asked by Nadia, where what this network contains. This is just an information of the response. Okay. This is just an information like which version, local address, remote address, and the certificate that it is using, and valid until. So that is all which is displayed over here. Same like response time information and response size and request size information. It is the same network information of the response, this particular response, and the request sent and the response we got. So this, the request, the complete request and the response we got. The complete information is found in this network tab, network section. So this is about settings and the network. The next thing is this question was asked by Archita. Like if we have created a global variable, okay, global, under global, if we have created any variable and if we are sharing any collection with anyone, okay, then this one is not shared to other persons. So in order to share this global variable, same like how do you we share a collection, okay, we how do we export a collection, in the same way we do export a, what they say, environment as well. We do export an environment. There's an option to export an environment. But for the global global variables or global information to be shared, we need to select on this globals section, and we have an option here, export globals. So once we click on this export globals, if there are any variables created in global area, then those information is shared with other person. If you don't export and share with other person, then these information are hidden or not given to the other person. Understood? Is it understood?
Yes, Ashish. But I have one question because if we share one collection, right? So global variable is included when
No,
we
no,
export it.
no. We have to export it independently. Like if
Okay.
I export this collection, okay, then only the collection is exported. Okay, no environment, no global information is not exported. We have to do it separately, and then we need to provide those two files to the opposite person. Global
Okay.
and the collection, or global and the environment. Both should be given to what they say, to the opposite person. So when you share collection, and if you have a global variable created, any variables created under global, or the uh, what they say, environment, then environment we have an option, like we click on three dots and we have this export option.
Mhm.
But for globals, we have
Mhm.
only option from here, export globals. When we click on here, then it will be this globals information will be um, exported to your collection, to your computer, and then you can share it with the opposite person. Okay.
Okay.
Then
Okay. Fine.
this global information, uh, any information provided in global will be displayed to opposite person when he exports the global collection as well. If he doesn't export this global collection, then it will not, sorry, not export, import. When he doesn't import this global collection, then it will not be visible to him. He has to import both the files into his workspace. Collection and the global, both should be imported. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this question has been done. Okay. Now there were other questions. So one thing is clear that we need to export If we have a collection, we have to export collection separately. If we have environment, we have to export environment separately. Then we have globals. Then if we have globals and any information in it, then we have to export globals separately. Then the opposite person need to import in his workspace separately collection, global, and environment. Okay, so this is done. And the next questions I have, I hope my chat GPT is displayed. Okay, now there was another question from Archita, like how would we know if a token is expired or not? So when I researched, I got to know, but this is still, I say, 50% valid and 50% invalid. The reason being, if I scroll up, I can see here 401 unauthorized and 403 forbidden can also, these status codes can also come when we give an invalid token information. So if and only if you see in your response, if it says the access is token is expired, then we will get to know that the access token has been expired. If you don't get this access token expired information in your response, then it is good to approach developer and ask, like, when can this token can be expired, if it expires or not. Okay, uh, most probably it doesn't expire, but if you see any information in response stating that the access token is expired, then we will get to know that the access token is expired and we need to create a new access token. Apart from that, apart from that, invalid token, authorization failed, access token is no longer valid. Yeah, we can take this also under consideration. Access token is no longer valid, but invalid token and authorization failed, these can happen if we also give a wrong authorization key or wrong token. Okay, so only go with these values: token expired or access token is no longer valid. If these values you see in a response, then you will get to know the access token is expired. Okay, so and there was a there was one thing which we were testing on JSON body. Like if I come in here and go to login, let's say add contact. Okay, we were adding this first name, I mean, one of the nodes, multiple, I mean, duplicate times. But most probably, I mean, it is not a standard. It is not a standard to develop a JSON where it has duplicates in it. If we come in here, we can see here. It says, but strictly speaking, according to JSON standard, duplicate keys are not allowed, which means, see in here, I have title 4 and title zoo, body bar and body cage. So I've given the key value, leave about value. The keys should not be duplicated in any JSON body. The keys should not be duplicated. For testing, you can do it, but I don't think so. This testing is required because uh, yeah, it because it will update. Definitely, it will update the latest information. It will not give any error. So we will not get to know if there is any issue or not. So it's not required. So most probably, whenever a developer develops a JSON, he doesn't create duplicate keys because it is not allowed and it is not standardized. I hope this is clear as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now coming to Nadia's question. Okay, Postman body formats. Okay, first, before Postman body formats, uh, I want to give this example. UAT staging. Okay, both can be similar. Okay, both can be similar, but UAT is different and staging is different. I mean, some projects call it as similar, call UAT and staging as similar, but it is completely different. Mostly staging testing comes into picture when you're testing APIs, and UAT testing mostly comes into picture when you're testing UI. I mean the UI testing. Okay, and it all depends upon the company. If the company says no, you have to do UAT testing on APIs as well, then clearly go ahead and create an environment which named as UAT. If they say no, it's not called as UAT and it is called as staging, then name it as staging. It all depends upon how company names their testing stages. Okay, if they have production, staging, and testing environment, then go with testing, production, and staging. If they have UAT, testing, and production, then go with UAT. Okay, but it's almost similar. It's almost similar, but little different purposes they use. Okay, so I hope this is clear. It's and it will have different information, different URL, different test data. Okay, a testing environment data might not be similar to the UAT or a production environment test data. I mean, the URL, if you see an URL here, okay, this might be a testing stage URL, okay, but in UAT, this URL might change a little, or in production, this URL might change a little, okay. And test data, which we are giving here, first name the data which we are giving here, okay, might change in UAT or in a production. We might test in a more realistic scenarios, more user specific scenarios. So it's only the data that changes. Apart from that, the testing remains the same. Testing what the testing you are doing in testing environment, it's the same. Only the data will be changed. Okay. If, let's say if this is a testing environment URL. Okay. And for staging or UAT, it might have uh, hyphen UAT or hyphen production. Okay, only the URL changes. Okay, URL changes, and in here, um, okay. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, 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 okay. Too bad. Sorry, sorry. Yeah. Mm, okay. Okay, and it might change in what they say in production or in staging. The information over here might change. Here for testing, it's test.pest. In staging or production, it might be Monday dot Tuesday. Okay. So only the information, the data changes. Apart from that, the testing remains the same. The testing completely remains the same. Okay. Um, okay. And the second question, okay, the second question, if I scroll up, okay. Now here, form data for the ones which we see here, form data, X XWWW form, URL encoded, raw, binary. These are all called as body type options. Okay, these are body type options which you can select. Okay, the umbrella that these come under is body type options. Okay, and the format which you're using. Okay, the format which you're using. These are these are the ones. Okay, these are the ones which we are using. Or if we come in here, so this is key value is one of the format. In here, key value is one of the format. Raw, this JSON is one of the formats. So these are all the formats. Okay, so so the umbrella which form data, form URL encoded, raw, or binary come under is body type options, and the format which we are using is this one, the ones which we see at the bottom. Okay, so that is a different umbrella. I mean, body data options is a different umbrella, and the format is different umbrella. I hope this is clear.
Yes, it's clear, Ashish. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
So
because
okay.
such questions can be in interview. So, yeah.
Yes, okay, nice. You have reminded me one thing about interviews. Okay, February pet store.
Yeah.
And also, if I come in here, let me close all this and come in here, February. Let's say, sorry, pet store form data. Nothing in here. Yep. So we can also see this is how a form data can like we can here they have uploaded a file. Okay, like text, we have two options in here. Like they have selected a file and they have uploaded a file. I mean, if we click in here, then we can upload from the system. If I select file in here, then I can select from my system whatever the file I want to, I can select it. Okay. So, and then when we send it, let's see if it passes. Okay, there's an unsupported media type. So this media type might not be supported. That is the reason it is giving this error. Okay. But we have seen form data, we have seen form URL encoded way, and we have seen in a raw way. Binary is also the same, almost the same, where if we go to binary, we can also select a file from here and we can test it. If they say, okay, don't use form data, go directly with the binary option, then you can, and this is a file that you need to test, then select binary, click in here, upload the file from your local system, then click on send. That is all you need to do. Okay. Now, coming to one question. Okay. If
So
in
there are
Hmm.
not any difference between form data and binary, right?
No, in form data, you have two options here. You have text option and you have file option as well. So text is an extra information. Text is an extra option you can find under form.
Okay.
And if they say, if the documentation says that you have to go with form data, then it is a way. I mean, it is a way that we need to follow, where we need to select form data file. And if they say don't select file, go with the text thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, text, like you can say key and value.
Mm-hmm.
Then yes, you have to go in this way. If they say no, no, just go with the binary thing, then yes, please go with the binary thing. That is completely fine.
Um, actually,
Okay. So, okay,
Mhm.
sorry.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
please,
just
please.
Suppose if I want to do with file, right? So there are so many format of files. So each and every file is I will like we can access with the file, like a Word document or Excel document or something.
I think yes. I haven't explored that deeper. I think yes,
Because
we can.
there is a different
Yes,
staging
yes.
and UAT environment is there, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they have defined all the users, right? So there is a different users as well. So
Mm-hmm.
if we save in a Excel file in a different like a different users, so if I want to check UAT testing, right? So if I want to use a Excel file, so we will access that Excel file with the file option,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay. You're talking about data-driven testing. That topic
Yeah.
we need to discuss. We will come to that. We'll
Okay.
definitely. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting Y file. I'm not getting that option
This
Y file.
this is like, why file, because I mean, see, in data driven testing, if I come, let me go to that data driven thing.
So if I use file option, right? So
Mhm.
which kind of file we will use in that file option?
Yeah, that is what I am really not sure. I haven't gone that deeper, like what all formats it supports. As I can see, I think it supports all the formats, JPEG, PNG, and BMP. Hopefully it supports Excel and all of, I mean, this is all about the data which we are, I mean, the payload, the body data which we are providing to this particular request. uh,
um,
like how we provide JSON body data, and how we provide a text input data, is that is all is given in the documentation. If the documentation says that we have to select form data and select file and select a file format of this, like JPEG or Word document or Excel format, then
Mm-hmm.
we need to select that option and then we need to run the request. If they say you need to go with raw and JSON, then we need not worry about this at all.
Okay.
actually, this was my question. Also, I was wondering when to, in which context we have to use this form data, and because randomly we use raw and we
Uh,
use JSON
yes.
for
Okay.
the
No,
body, but the
I
others
think
one.
I think I can give an example for that. Okay, let me give an example so that it will be easily understood. Where did we find it? Where did we find it? Where did we find it? I think, um, okay, I think I need to create a new workspace. I think I found it in API testing, maybe. Yes, I think we have found it in API testing. Here, mm, no, does this give that information? Post. Here we have JSON, JSON, JSON. Here everything is JSON. Introduction, API tests. Maybe this. I think. Sorry, not get. Post. I need to see the documentation. Here. Yes, yes. Okay. See, in here, the documentation says the body should be in URL encoded format. So when the documentation says that it should be in URL encoded format and not raw JSON, then you need to select that option. If it does not say that you should, URL encoded or form data should be used, then you need not to worry about it. But especially when a documentation says that you have to use this option, then go for this option.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this was from the last class.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So yeah,
Yeah, thank
so no worries, no worries.
you.
I hope
Thank you.
the, sorry, what is it? The query is cleared, right?
Yes, yes, it's very clear. Thank you.
So if the documentation says we need to use form data, let's say it's not URL encoded, we need to use form data, and they will also give an information like what is a key we need to use, and it should be a file or a text. Then what should be the value? If it is a text, then what should be the value? And if it is a file, then which file format we need to upload? All that information you will find in the documentation. That is the reason we need to go through the documentation very precisely. I can say very precisely. If you miss one point, then it will be really difficult to test or get the right results or right output. So if the test says, if in here, let's say here we selected, why did we select URL form, URL encoded? Because the documentation said that we have to select URL encoded and these to be a key and a value. So that is what in here. And when we send it, and same goes if I'll show you that documentation as well. Public, was it public? Spaces. No, where it went, where it went, where it went. Training. Oh, sorry. Feb API batch. Okay. Let me go to the documentation. And here, I hope this document. See, in this documentation, it is saying form data. We should select form data, and the file, we should select the option of file, and it should be bare JPEG file. Okay. Maybe there's a bare JPEG file in our system. So we need to select that, and then we need to test it. Is this clear? Is it clear? Why we need, when and why we should select form data or URL encoded or raw?
Can you please repeat the one with the file? This beard
Okay.
GPG.
Okay, let me close this all and come to the documentation, view complete documentation. And here for this request, okay, application JSON request, the the body the body should be form data. We should select form data, and we should select under the form data, the body should be selected as file, and we should have a bare JPEG file in our system which we need to upload. So if I go to this request, open request, then what Okay, not this request. Where did it go? Huh. So for this request, we selected form data and the file and the option as file, and we have uploaded a bare JPEG file using this file from a local system. So I might have a bare JPEG file in my system which I have uploaded, and then I can run the request. So it's all about documentation.
So
This mm,
the file we have it already in the system, or it's on
yes,
the documentation.
yeah. No. The file we need to create it. We need to have that bare JPEG file. We need to download it manually on our system.
But from where to download this? From where is
From
it?
it's in from internet. You can download a bare JPEG file from
Oh,
internet.
mm-hmm.
Okay, like
Okay,
when
okay.
we
Yeah.
open this request, see it says form data. We should select form data and file and bare JPEG. Okay, when I open this request, so it's form data and file and bare JPEG. So I can download it from, I can say, uh, JPG bare images. So I can type in here and I can download one of the JPEG, bare JPEG file, and then I can upload it on my Postman as a value. Then I can test it.
So it's not like something specific. It's just we choose any like
Yeah,
picture that.
any value, any.
Right. Okay then.
Okay. I'm pretty not sure that I don't think so that they will provide the bare JPEG file as well, because this we can get it from the internet. But the the format that we need to select in the body, it is file, and there should be a JPEG file. It might be bare JPEG or a lion JPEG or a any JPEG, but it should be a JPEG file. Okay. So
Okay.
in documentation, we'll get to know all this information, like which body. So is this clear to everyone?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, great. Now, okay, so we all this as well. Okay, so what's next? What's next? Now we have done here. Okay, I'll come to this. Huh. This is one more thing. Sorry, I like that. What it in here. Nadia, this is for for the query that you asked last in the last session. See, for number, it should not be under quotes, and any other data, those should be under quotes. This is this is a funda which you need to follow whenever you are writing any code in JavaScript. So if it number, in the sense number can be as integer or a decimal. Okay, if it is an integer or a decimal, then do not put it under quotes. But if it is any other data, it might be date or it might be address or it might be some code. Okay, any code, then that should be gone under the quotes, because then it will work, or else it will give an error. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So only number and decimal should not be under quotes. Apart from that, anything that you use, it might be. Let me go ahead and say. Okay. Okay.
You mean the same for JavaScript and JSON? Yes, it's the same
Yes,
syntax.
yes. Same. It's same. Actually, it is same for every programming language. We'll come to that. Okay. Let's say I'll select here. Okay. Now, so this a number or a
It's a
number or a other data type, other data
number.
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 So do we need quotes here or we do not need
No,
quotes here?
no.
We
We
don't
don't
need.
need.
Okay, great. Done. For this, for this, sorry. For this, we need codes.
We need, yeah.
We need codes for this.
Yes, yes, we need. Do you hear
Why?
me?
Why?
Because this is a hyphen. This is not decimal.
This is which is
Decimal.
this is a decimal. We have used dot here.
I believe that this is hyphen. No, it's if it's, yeah, if it's decimal, then we need.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need.
And okay.
Mm.
And let's
So,
say 10, 10, 10,
uh,
10. For this,
we need. We need.
we need, right? Okay. Now it is
Mhm.
clear.
Yeah, yeah, it's clear. It's clear.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
for numbers, we don't need it. For anything apart from now, it might be anything. You use any random data, any random you use anything. You need double quotes. Okay.
Yes, yes. Thank
Great.
you. It's clear.
So is it clear till now? Everything?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Now I'll come to last week's question. This is one question which I want to ask. Now I want to create this as a path parameter. So how can I create a path parameter for this? Path variable, path parameter, anything we can say. How can I create? So what should be the key and what should be the value?
There is a noise behind.
Mm.
Can everyone mute themselves, please? Thank you. Now, could you please let me know? Okay, the ones who are answering, please unmute them. Unmute yourself, and yeah, please let me know what should be the key and what should be the value.
Ashish, this
Uh,
is path parameter.
yeah.
So in the query parameter, we need to give key and value. But in path parameter, we just give a single thing. See, you just slash and user. So this is considering a path parameter,
Okay. How
not a
should I
query.
create a path parameter for this?
Okay, so you can put colon.
And what should be the key and what should be the value?
User is the key.
Uh, and value?
We can just write something.
Still you're going wrong. Still you're going wrong.
No, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. User is the value.
I'll,
Yes. User
I'll
is
not
the
accept
Yes.
value.
this. I'll
Uh,
not accept this. Still you're going wrong. So users is the value. Key,
yes.
you can put anything. I can put key itself. Okay. Then I can put users here. Okay. Was it uppercase
Yes.
or lowercase? Uppercase, I think. Upper. See. Okay. So still confused with path variables. Still confused with path variables. Please do practice.
Okay.
Still confused. What is a key? What is a value? If you get confused here, then all your requests are gone. If you are using a path parameter and you're running your tests, then if something fails, then it will be really difficult for you to know that where exactly your requests are getting failed, because you'll get to know that users is a key. You'll say users is a key, so everything is correct, but nah, that is not correct. Okay. I just wanted to check. Okay, one more question. I've shared one link related to API security. Who has seen that YouTube link, which was only for 6 minutes?
I did look at it. I didn't
Okay,
remember what it was about.
you did look at it and you didn't remember what. Uh,
I will. I because I
sorry?
look at many things, because I
Uh,
look at many videos, so I don't remember. But I remember that it was short and it was easier. Just wait a minute.
yeah, it was short and easy. Yeah. Okay, no worries.
I mean,
Okay.
I got the idea behind it.
Okay, what was the idea? What she wanted to
That's,
explain? What she wanted to say?
wait, I will remember. I with memory.
Okay, fine. It's fine. Okay. And now,
Jira. Is it? Is it?
no. Jira is completely different.
Uh,
Jira is completely different. It was
or
in a class
GraphQL, GraphQL
nah,
and
nah,
REST.
nah. I think then, yeah, everyone missed it.
No.
I've
Okay.
given one link in the session itself. to look at it, API security thing, which was raised. And okay, one more thing. In your YouTube, you have YouTube, right? Please go to Postman official channel. Okay, go to Postman official channel and subscribe yourself. The reason being, if there are any updates, or if there are any new features, or if there are any changes that are done to the Postman relates to testing or anything that mostly relates to testing, then you'll get to know. You'll be the first to know. So, and there's a lot more information given in that channel where you will get a deep knowledge of it, and it will be really really useful. So uh, if you're if you're really a work, I mean, yeah, it's like in your project, if you are working with Postman, then it's good to have this Postman channel to be subscribed, because that will give you a deep knowledge, and you'll also get to know more information on Postman, what changes and what is happening in Postman. Okay, now coming to one more thing. This is for the beginners, huh? This is for the beginners who are just entering into automation. Okay, if who are doing automation, then it is completely fine for them, I think. But still, it's a good to know knowledge. Okay, now basics of automation testing. Okay, basics of automation testing. We need to understand the software testing fundamentals. Okay, for this we need to know the manual versus automation, functional versus non-functional, smoke, sanity, regression, STLC process, bug life cycle, and test plans, test cases, test scenarios, test reports, and bug reporting tools like Jira, which I've shared the link, or Bugzilla. Okay, either one of these is fine. Okay, this we have a link where we can video series. We have a video series where we can learn about Jira. But apart from this, the top three, the top three you can find in this guru99.com. I'm pretty sure I have shared this link earlier, but still I'm sharing it once again. This is okay, this information, and you will find each and every information which is described here. You'll like manual versus automation, you will find it in here. Okay, if we go to scroll down, expand texting, expand testing, and click on software testing. Here you will find manual versus automation, and also you will find where exactly it went, functional versus non-functional. If you go to here, non-functional testing, and click on this, here you will find where exactly it is. Um, did I click on the right? Okay, functional testing. And in here, functional versus non-functional testing. And you will find smoke, sanity, and regression. Every bit of these, every bit of this information, and also lot more about basics we need to be very strong at. I mean, how to create a test case, how to create a test scenario, how to create a flow, and everything you can find under this guru99.com. And it is updated frequently. It is updated frequently by um, all the testers in the world, all the testers in the world. So it's good to have a reading on this on a regular basis. I know it's a lot of reading which we need to follow, but yeah, if we want to be up to date, then we have to be reading a lot of things and giving time to ourselves. So please do follow this. I mean, if you want to make your software fundamentals, testing fundamentals strong, and then you can go to this and expand this testing and software testing. Okay. So, any questions still here? Any questions? Any questions? Okay. I hope not. Now, so we got to know when to use form data, body data, and when to use form URL encoded, and when to use raw or binary, right? It is all written in the documentation. When it is written in the documentation or explained in the defined in the documentation, then only go with that particular format, or else it will mostly 99% it will be raw JSON only. But if it is and 90%, let go is 90%, it will be raw JSON only. If it is not, then look at the documentation and follow the same. Okay, so no questions till now. Now coming to the next part, and please be clear on path variables, how, what is a key and what is a value. Okay, now, okay, which one we need to select? Collection runner, we will do it. Snippets. Okay, yeah, response codes and messages. Okay, we know if we run. Okay, let's do this. We know this is a response code. 201 is a response code, and this is message created is a message. Now there are n number of response codes and response messages which we come across when we are performing API testing. So I'll open that sessions. I'm not sure in which document I have that. Let me open check. Mm, nah, not in here. It's in here. Not in here. Hopefully, not in here too. Yes, in documentation 4 have. So here, if I click on this link, you can see these are all the response codes which we get when we run an API. When we run an API, we get all these response codes and response informations as well. Okay. Now in here, you might not come across this one, the 100 series. You might not come across 100 series at all when you're testing APIs. So ignore this, but 200 series, 300 series, 400 series, and 500 series, you will come across them. Okay. But you need not to know all the response codes and all the response messages. I have given information about what are the important response codes and what are the messages which we get when we get those response codes, which will be frequently asked in an interview, which will be frequently asked in an interview. So these are the only response codes and response messages you need to remember in order to give up a correct answer in your interviews. Not all are not required. All are really not required. But if you want to know about the response codes, more about all the response codes, then you're free to use this website where you can see all the, you know, all the response codes which we can know and get to know about it. Okay. And we will be having a different response codes, like here we have 201, and if we go to delete product, here we will have 200. Okay, but we might have something else as well. Okay, everything here is 200. Mm, delete. Hopefully this gives a different response code. See, here we have a 204 no content. So especially when we come across 400 or 500 series, 400 is our, we are doing something wrong. Client error response, which we are doing something wrong, which we are giving invalid request URL or an endpoint, or the JSON body might not be correct, or the, yeah, the body, not JSON body, the payload, the request body payload might not be correct. Something we are doing wrong. That is the reason we get this client error responses. Okay, but if the server is down, if the server is not responding, or the server is failed, then we get this 500 series, uh, what they say, response in our response tab. Okay, so client, which we need to check, server response, then it's only when the server is up and running, then we will get a successful response. apart from, and these a successful response. And redirection is the URL which you are using is correct, but it had changed to a different request, or the URL might have been changed a little. So you need to recheck. I mean, it's all about redirection. Is all about there might be an update in the URL or in the request body. There might be an update. Then you need to recheck the documentation and see which is the latest URL and the latest request body that you need to use to have a successful response. To have a successful. Okay, so these three 200, 300, and 400 series which we need to work on. I mean 200, then it is all good. Then you need not worry about anything. 300 series and 400 series, you need to check where exactly we are going wrong or where exactly we need to make changes. If it is a 500 series error, then it's all about server. Only when the server is up and running, then we can have a successful request. Okay. So, any questions on this response codes and messages?
Yes, Ashish.
Uh,
For those that they have look like there is a problem, like 300, I think, and 400. So in that case, what should we do? We should go and look for the reason in the documentation, and we say
sorry,
that this is a bug.
sorry. If we have a 400 series error, after that,
300 and 400.
mm,
These are the requests that they have issues. The state
yeah,
the code the that it gives a issue. So
yeah.
in this case, what should we do? We should say that this is a bug, or we should it's our mistake. We have to go
No,
and maybe we didn't do good.
correctly, yes. See, 300 series, you can recheck the documentation once again, or you can approach the developer once again. What changes or updates have been done to the URL or to the request body. But when it is a 400 series, please make sure that you have you have added the request and the request body correctly, because here bad request might be the URL you might have been added incorrectly, which means this URL you might have given HTTPS. Apart from HTTPS, you might have given HTTP or anything. Or here in API users, you might have missed S here. Something might be the reason. Okay, so that is a bad request. And unauthorized is when the token is not valid. Okay, or you haven't given the token at all. If let's say um let's say demo jar authorization. Okay, in here we need a token. Okay, authorization needs a bearer token. Okay, but you haven't given the information of the token, and you are trying to send the request. You're trying to send the request, then it says unauthorized, which means you haven't provided the information, the authorization token information, and you're trying to run the request. So you need to provide the authorization token information, then it will be successful. So 400 series is mostly our job
Uh,
to check, like where exactly we are going wrong. Forbidden is
Ash,
also same. Yes.
sorry. Okay, just keep going, and then I will ask my question.
Okay. Forbidden is also same. It also relates to token. Not found. The endpoint might not be found. Where we need to check the URL once again. And method not allowed. We might be using get method for the post method. Not acceptable and unsupported media type we just saw, like the bare JPEG one. It was not supporting the media type. Not acceptable is also, I think it's something, yeah, we need to read about. Mm, Let's go to
Mhm.
400 and 406. 406. Is sent when the web server 406 not this response is sent when the web server, after performing server driven content doesn't find any content that conforms to the criteria given by the user agent. So there might be no response for it. So maybe that might be the reason, or the data might not be present, or the data which you're accessing might not be correct. So for that particular reason, it says not acceptable. Okay, now
Mhm.
your question,
Yeah.
please.
Yes. Okay. So, for example, you have the token, Okay,
Mm,
you have the you have it in the documentation, and
mm,
when I copy it in the place of the token, it
mm,
still gives. I copy it exactly as I do, copy and paste. I don't change anything in it.
mm.
It does not give it still give bad requests.
You might have not saved it.
I save it.
Then it should not. It should give you the.
It's Do you think that it's already given wrong in the documentation,
No,
or
no, 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 no. In the documentation, sorry, in the documentation, the token is not provided. I mean, the token is not provided. Token is generated. Token is generated. Like you in the documentation, it only provides you information how to generate a token. Like let's say, if I want to generate a token here, then it says this is the information that you need to provide in body. When I click on send, then an access token is generated where you need to use this access token in your subsequent requests. This is the information which you need to I mean, if I copy this, okay, copied, and in here API key, I think is blank. Okay, here I need to use in here. Okay, if I use it in here, then I can access it. Why it's not needed? Okay. Okay. Let's save this. See, now it worked. So this is how you need to use it. You need to use it. Whenever you use it, then only it will work. But the token information, the complete token information is not provided in the documentation. Never, never. No one exposes the token information. But how to generate a token? Yes, that will be given in the documentation. Like if I go to this documentation, okay,
Mhm,
here logout user. Okay, logout user needs authorization of bearer token, right? Bearer
mhm,
token. But the token information is not given in the what they say documentation. How to generate a token is given. I mean, use this request, use this body data. When you run this body data, then you will get a token information. If you click on more, then you will get the token is generated. Then you can use this token information in next request. In next request, like if I go in.
okay. So it's in the login, yes?
It all depends
Request.
upon documentation. If it might be in login or it might be a separate one. Like if you come in here, I think this one has a separate thing. What to say? Postman tool. This has, see here, authentication is completely different. It's not in login. Okay, it's a register. When you're trying to register, then a then a token is generated. Okay, so it all that is why we need to be very thorough. We need to read the documentation. You can read it 10 times, 20 times, but you need to understand the documentation, where exactly and what exactly I need to do first, and where exactly and how exactly I can get the access token, and where exactly and how exactly I can use that token in the subsequent requests. That is the
Okay.
reason I always stress on documentation. Documentation is really, really, really important. It can be in login, it can be a separate document, separate authentication request, or it might be something else. So
Mhm,
it's all about in the documentation.
okay.
Here it has given in the login, but there it has given in the authentication as a separate request. In some, in if you come in here in the WJSON and go to this auth, then here we have, yeah, here it is login, but it might be different for different APIs. The documentation will provide you the information.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So always read documentation and you will get, I mean, 99% answers you will get in the documentation. So let's say, okay, I'll give one more example here. Um, okay, which one should I give? Okay. In here, it says, okay, it says that the access, okay, this is way too advanced. Let's do this. Mm, okay. Here I can do bookstore. Let's go to bookstore. In here, if I go to the documentation, I think I can give you the documentation. Ha. Here, the token is under the generate token, which is also a complete different request, and authorization is completely different. So it all depends upon the documentation, like where and how exactly we can get the token information, and then how we can use it in the next request. Okay, so it's
So,
uh,
Ashish, in this case, there will be two tokens because there is authorization and there is generates
nah,
token.
this is I mean this is wait, I'll show you. Generate token. Here we can generate the token. Okay, let's say
Mhm.
token is generated, and authorization. This is where, like, this is authorized. See, this is a different thing. This authorization is like you're authorized to work on this APIs. So leave about this authorization. The token, we just need to concentrate on the token thing. Okay, where we can generate. So it is a different request altogether. It is neither the login one. It is not named login. It is not named authentication. It is named as generate token. So this is where you get the token information.
Mhm.
And authorization is like what all you can do, what you're authorized to work on these APIs, which is like, I mean, you're authorized to get into your home and work on all the things in your home. Okay, your friend might not. So when you're running this APIs, then you're authorizing yourself that I can work on this APIs, and I can do multiple things in this APIs. Okay, API requests.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
always, it's the token which we concentrate more about, because token is what we use in all the subsequent requests wherever the token is required. Okay,
Mhm. Okay. Thank
so it's a documentation, Nadia. It's all about documentation.
you. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so so is there any questions on response codes or response messages? Mm, okay, not okay. Let me- Okay. Yeah. Fetch XHR in network tools. Okay. For any tester or any developer, for any tester or any developer, uh, okay, file upload. We have seen file upload as well, right? Okay. How do we do a file upload? We go to this. Let me go to
Okay.
this. Yeah. We go to this. We select form data. We can do a file upload from here, or we can do a file upload from here. Okay, so this is how we do a file upload, and we can test our request and we get a response if and only if the documentation says that we need to test our request using file upload, or else you can completely ignore it. You can completely ignore it. Okay, now coming to this fetch XHR in network. Okay, before this, I forgot to see one thing. Sorry, what was this? It was right. Yeah. Okay. In your interviews, uh, the interviewer might not be a business analyst, or might not be you might not be working on a real project. So he might ask you to, he might give you a user story which might have multiple acceptance criteria, but he might not provide you this URL. He might not provide you this URL. Okay, and he might ask you to write test cases. Let's say he has provided you a post information only. He says that the it is a post method, and this is a request which body which needs to be in the post method. But this endpoint is not yet decided. This endpoint is not yet created from the developer, but you need to write test cases for it. How can you write test cases? This is how you can write test cases. Like when it comes to API endpoint, just say, just give something like any random information saying API v1 uses, like virtual one uses, or you can also give your own, but the request type should be post because he has said it is post. Request body, he has provided you the request body, and expected response. Okay, expected response, you can write it, but these things, ignore these things. Okay, let me remove these things. Status you will get to know, because actual response you might not get to know, but status you will get to know. What if it is 201, is it pass or fail? Pass, right? So we can say pass. 400 is fail. 400 fail, fail, fail. Okay, so if the endpoint URL is not given, okay, let me remove this remarks as well. Okay, remarks is also not given. Okay, okay, so you can write it in this way. Okay, you can write it in this way. If the API endpoint is not given, understood? If the URL, if
Yes.
the sorry,
Yes.
if
Yes.
the
Yes.
Yes.
yeah, if the URL is not given, then you can use some random. You can say slash API something, but this all information. Test case ID we know we created. Scenario we know we have to create it. Only the information we do not know is endpoint. Request type we know. Request body is given. This is given. This is given. Expected response we need to write, and status pass or fail we'll get to know with the expected response. Okay, so make sure please when if you come across interviews where the API endpoint is not given, then you can write the test cases in this way and use Excel. It is completely fine. Okay, so this is done now. Okay, what else? Okay, yeah, we were talking about fetch XHR, network tools, right? Okay, the best friend for any developer or a tester when it comes to automation testing, especially we use in automation testing, is developer tools. We need to be we need to be you know fluent in understanding developer tools. Like when I inspect this, at least elements, console, sources is not required, network, and what else? Network and performance is also not required. I think, yeah, application. Uh, and this is all. Okay. So this is what I mean. Elements, console, network, and application. If we are good with these four tabs, one, two, sources not required. I don't think so. Sources is required. Performance also I might for testers, especially for testers. For developers, then it is yeah, everything is required here. Performance we might not come across that. Memory, application. Yes. So these four tabs we should be good at. Okay, we should be good at. Now coming to this fetch XHR in network tools, what exactly it does? Okay, let me open that particular documentation. Okay, I think in here. Okay. What is the difference between all tab and the fetch XHR tab? Okay, all tab gives every bit of information. Okay, let me do one thing. Mm, okay. Mm, let's open this inspect and go to the network, and here we have selected all. Okay, let me minimize this. Can I minimize the track? Okay, okay, let me clear this. Okay, now, okay, here we have selected all option. Okay, we have selected all option. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to reload this page. If I reload this page, I get every bit of information, every bit of component element that was used to create this page, only this page, to create this particular page, every component, I mean, it might be image, it might be anything, okay? So every bit of information is displayed under this all tab, okay? It contains images, CSS files, JavaScript files, fonts, media, WebSockets, everything, okay? But when we are doing an API testing, what we need to concentrate on is only the requests, only the get requests and post requests, and these things you can find under when you select this fetch slash XHR tab. This is so only these two methods are used, only these two methods are used when reloading or when accessing this page. So when you click on this method, then you will get to know the payload which is used in here. So here we are using some view past payload, and then if we come in here, then here we let me scroll up little. Okay, here we have query string parameters and view source. Here, okay, this is so encoded on Google, right? Okay, so this is how of payload, every bit of information is displayed. I mean, is given. I think this is too hard. Let me go in here. Let me use this automation. I'm sure it just gives me information about. Here we have all. Under all, we get all the information. But when we click on this fetch slash XHR, then this information is hidden from the outside world. The programmers who have created this website, they have hidden the API requests from the outside world. But when you're working for this automation step by step company, then they will provide you the APIs to test. Okay, you need not to worry about it. They will provide you the information. Let me say anything else. If this gives info, uh, here we have the information. Here we are getting, I mean, the public APIs which we can test, that particular information we are getting in here. So if we click on here, we will get to know the payload that we can test, and the headers, we get the information about the URL, the endpoint, and it says 406 not acceptable. So it's already getting failed. But the request method, status code, and response headers which we use in here, and request headers which we I mean response headers which we get, and request headers which we have to use in our. So all this information we need to place in our Postman to test it. Okay, to test it. So if I so it is we need to concentrate on fetch slash XHR tab only. We should not look at the all tab. Okay, we should concentrate only on the fetch XHR tab. But only the information which is given in here, we need to use it. So you might have a question like, here there's a lot of information which we need to put manually, into Postman. So this will be really time taken and very hard, and it might be error prone, and we might miss some of the information here, and then it might give us a unexpected response. Here it is giving post okay 200 okay and post request, but if we miss one of the header here, then we might be getting 401 or 404 not acceptable. We might be thinking like, where exactly I'm going wrong, and it's really hard to uh, compare this thing with and also check where exactly we are going wrong. So for this, is it clear till here? Okay, just read this documentation. um API testing 4 documentation. You will get to know what all is present under all tab and what is present under fetch XHR tab. And I think I've given more information about this in the next documentation as well. Nah, not in here. Okay, six. Uh, I'm not sure in which documentation have provided more information about that. Maybe in revision. Revision. It's in revision. State yes. Security protocol. No. I think in some documentation I might have given the more information about that. Maybe 7. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, I need to check. But let me open. So this is all. This is a difference between fetch XHR and all tab. Okay. I think in the previous documentation. Okay. So any questions still here? I mean, fetch XHR tab. Why we use fetch XHR tab? Any questions? If the API's information is not provided to us, if the endpoints are not provided to us, and only the application is given to us, then we have to access the fetch XHR tab to get the information, about the API request that we need to test. So it is really difficult. It is really difficult to add all these things, right? In the Postman. So for that, we can use Postman interceptor. Okay, we can use Postman interceptor. Can someone mute themselves, please? Thank you. Okay. So now we understood, right? Like how hard it is to add every bit of information in Postman request. Like we need to add body, we need to add headers, we need to add URL, we need to add this post and URL is fine, but body and headers, in order to add these two information is really really difficult and really really time taking and really really error prone. Why? Because um, why exactly? Because network and reload the page. Because we need to add every information. I mean, there's a lot, huge information in here, right? And payload also has a huge here. It's encoded, so we might not know what information we need to add in here. So, in order to help with this, okay, there is a what they say, there is a extension. There is an extension provided by Postman, which is known as Postman Interceptor. Postman Interceptor, which is for the Chrome Chrome web browser, which you can go in here and you can say Postman Inter Interceptor Chrome extension. Okay, if you go in here, you will find this extension, which you can add it to your Chrome browser. Once you add this to your Chrome browser, then any website where you haven't been given the API's information or the endpoints information, you can use this Postman interceptor in order to get the API request and get the, like, I can go in here. Let me go to this new workspace. Okay. And I want to test one of the, let's say I want to test one of the, I want to test this. Okay. I haven't been given for this website. I haven't been given the API request. I mean, I haven't been given the URLs. I haven't been given the method information. I haven't been given the body data. I mean, the documentation itself is not provided to me. Nothing is provided to me. The only thing they have provided to me is this link. And they said me to test this API, test this website for APIs. How can I do it? I need to install the Sportsman Interceptor extension. Then we have to enable it. Once we enable it, then we can, okay, we need to make sure that the Postman tool is opened. Before we use that intercepted, Postman tool is opened. Okay, once it is open, then we'll see here ready to capture in green in color. Okay, green in color. Okay, or else it will say we have to open Postman tool in order to work, in order to for this extension to work. Okay, once we have this, Then click on start capture. Then come in here. Then click in here and say test. Okay, login. Oh, I'm not sure why exactly this is not working. Oh, every which okay, yeah. So then once we have done with this, then stop capture, open Postman. Here you will have all the information, what all methods were used, what all endpoints were used, what all body data was used. So what you need to do in here is the only thing that you need to do is save requests and create a new collection. Do not paste it, do not import it in an existing collection. Okay, create a new collection, interceptor, and say create, and select both the options, click on save. Once you click on save, then we have all the information what we have ran, what all APIs were used, what okay, this is one of the API with a get request, and this is a endpoint, and these were the parameters. And if we go to the post, then this is a body which was used, which is in form URL encoded format, and this is a URL, this is a method, and there is no parameters or authorization used. And so now you can test. Now you can test your APIs normally. I mean, functional or automation, you can do it using this Postman, using this request. The only thing you need to remember is when you're using Postman interceptor, first the Postman tool should be opened, not the web browser one. The tool application should be opened. Then you will see in here the green in color. Then you can click on start capture, then work on your website, whatever you want to do, sign in or sign out or add. I'm not sure why exactly this is giving invalid username or password. It should work J2EE and J2EE, but and test 1 2 3 4 should work, but I'm not sure why it's not allowing me to do it. So then you can do multiple things, and then you have to stop capture. Once you stop the capture, then it will say open Postman. Once you come to Postman, then you can save the request, which is on the top right hand side. In here you'll see save request, then create a new collection. Please do create a new collection and check all the boxes and save all your requests in here. Then you will have all bit of information, then you can test. Functional testing and the automation testing can be done uh, as the way it is intended. So you will get the information about all the API requests, and every bit of API request information you will get it using the Postman interceptor, which is a real good tool. When you do not have a documentation, you can use that particular extension. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Any doubts?
It's okay. It's fine.
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure why exactly this is not working. This should work. Okay. J2EE and test 1 2 3 4 should work. Okay. Now, console use will come. This is snippets. Okay, this one thing I want to explain, which is a real quick. Whenever you're creating any collection, okay, whenever you're creating any collection, okay, if you're creating a collection, okay, go to this scripts tab, go to this pre-request, okay, and enter this console.clear code. Okay, just copy the complete thing and enter it here. Okay, and save it. Okay, let me paste it in here as well. Okay, what exactly this does is, okay, what exactly is this console and what exactly clear everything, and what is this brackets, I mean, and semicolon, this we will discuss in the automation. But This is only for your own own what they say own help, I can say. Because whenever you're running console, whenever you're adding a number of whenever you're running your multiple requests, the console application fills up. I mean, yeah, it's fills up completely. So in order to clear the console whenever you're running a new request, please do add this. I mean, what it does, this console, it will clear the console before running any new request. Okay, so if you come in here, if I click on this once again, let's say, see, the console has been cleared. Then it ran the request. Why? Because we have placed it in the pre-request. I mean, before the request has ran, before the we have sent a request, please please perform this task. Please perform this task. This is what Postman is saying, that before a request is sent to the server, please perform this task. I mean, clear the console, then send the request, then get the response. So use this code. Huh? And
Ashish,
yeah, yeah,
this we write it in the level of the collection or
yeah.
in each request.
Don't do it in the request. The reason being, you have to place it in each and every request rather than each and every placing it in each and every request. Place it in the collection so that it will be applicable to all the folders and all the requests,
Okay.
all the folders in that collection and all the requests in that collection. That is the reason I have placed it under the collection, under collection scripts pre-request.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Ashish,
Yeah.
apart from console.clear, can we add any other details in
Yeah,
pre-request?
yeah, you can. Oh, you can do n number of things. I mean, if I come in here, February, March. Okay, let's say here we are giving a body name and job, right? In body, right? We can
Mhm.
use
Yes.
the you can take this information and you can place it in the pre-request. You can place it in the pre so that before the request is ran, it will take from the pre-request the name and job, and then it will take in the request, then it will send to the server, then you'll get a response. You can do it. You can add same as you add it in the post response. The scripts you can add it in the pre-request. Many of the scripts can be added in the pre-request as well. But as we are not into automation yet, so the only thing I wanted to help you all with, I mean, rather than clearing the console each and every time when you run the request manually from this button, clicking this button, we can use that particular code so that it will be cleared automatically. Hope this cleared the query.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Okay, now console we will discuss in the next session on Saturday. We will because console we need to discuss a lot about console and data driven. These things we need to discuss. Um, okay, one thing I wanted to explain, the as you're working on the positive, negative, and the combined flows. Okay, um, let me paste this. Let me paste it in the hope everyone are working. I hope. Okay. Okay. You can this negative scenario and negative flows, make it optional. Okay, make it optional. We'll also try to create it in when we are what they say when we are doing automation. Okay, but optional in the sense that do not skip it. It doesn't mean that you have to skip it. If you are working on it, please do continue working on it. Okay, and but I need the positive flow and the combined flow. Okay, these here in the positive flow, the it should be a proper flow. Scripts needs to be added, and all the tests needs to be passed, and variables created wherever required. If it is a token, URL, endpoint, then please make sure that you create variables for it. Okay, you do create variables for it. Same with the combined flow. Proper flow, scripts needs to be added, all tests needs to be passed, and variables created wherever required. Wherever required. Okay. So these two negative flows and negative scenarios, there's a slight difference in this. which I'll discuss later. But positive and combined flow, I'm pretty sure in combined flow you'll definitely come across this negative flow. Not the negative scenarios, but negative flow you'll definitely come across this when you're creating a combined flow. So this I can ignore. But negative scenarios, there's a difference. There's a slight thin line of difference. I'll explain. Um, but yes, positive flow and the negative flow, I really need it. I really need it because it is really important. Okay, then it will be easy for you to understand and explore and automate and API automation as well. Not only in Postman, not only using Postman tool, rest assured, and Karate framework as well, and Catalan Studio, whatever tools we have in the world. Okay, because there I have seen it is a flow which we use. It is a flow which we use and which we test with. Okay. So positive and combined flow, we really need it. That needs to be created. That needs to be done. Okay, that is all for today. Any questions, any doubts, any queries?
Ashish,
Please.
when you say combined flow,
Yeah,
so what does that mean?
combined flow. Okay, let me give you an example. Um, here, add user is a positive one, positive request. Blank username password is a negative request. Negative, it's not a negative request, negative scenario. Okay.
Yes.
Invalid password is a negative one. Okay. I'm not saying, yeah, it comes under scenario as well. Negative one. User addition duplicated is negative. Invalid username is negative, but generate token is positive. So when you're running this, when you're running this, when you're running this collection, each and each and every request uh, tests should be passed. I mean, the flow should not break. The flow should not break anywhere. It should not break at all. It should go in a smoother way. That is what a combined flow is all about. Uh, think yeah, try to
Okay.
create one. Try to create as I've given the reference. Try to create. Let me see how far we can
Okay.
go. Okay.
Can you
Okay.
please execute one negative scenario like a blank username and password, right? So
Yeah.
what we expect,
Bad request.
yes, okay, bad request.
Yeah.
So it is in a positive way, right? So
No, no, it is a negative thing.
yeah, it is a
Yeah,
negative.
yeah, correct. Yeah, if we see in what we are expecting, yes, then it is a
Yes,
positive.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. So that's why you are calling it's a combined flow, right?
yes.
Okay.
What we are expecting is yes, this is what we want. 400 bad request is what the response should get, and we are getting the same. So then all the tests have been passed. If you see the scripts, then all the tests have been passed.
Okay. Understood.
Okay. So combined flow and positive flow, please do create them. And negative flow and negative scenarios, you can, if you have created, well and good. I'm really happy. I'm really thankful too. But if you haven't done yet, then keep it as optional. Okay, not skipping it. Huh? Keep it as optional. Either create two requests. It will be for your own benefit. Okay. So
Ashish, can you
uh,
please execute one negative flow as well so we can just understand that
yeah,
what
sure,
is
sure,
required in a negative way
sure,
as
sure,
well?
sure, sure. I have a negative flow one. Where did I create it? In here. This is a negative test. Okay. Alright. Oh, run the collection. And I'm running the collection. Still running. As it says stop run. It's still running. Let's see what will be the output. and I have given this one as well, this collection as well as a reference. Okay, here there's one test which has been failed because we said the response should be 300 milliseconds. Less than 300 milliseconds is 3 seconds. But it went to 30,200, I mean, nearly 30 seconds. 30 seconds? Huh. Nearly half a minute. It took half a minute to run this request. So that is the reason this one failed. Apart from that, all others have been passed. All others have been passed. But this is still a negative test. Get context unauthorized, not found, missing required fields, contact too long characters, update contact invalid email, add contact challenge. Let me see what is this under what body we have given here. Okay, here we have given the common thing, but there's something. I mean, something we are. I mean, I think we are. So let me run this here. Let's see. Add contact challenge. I think the information which we are giving is too long or which is not valid format. That is the reason it is taking this bit of time to get the response from the server. Process the information in the database, then give it to response to the server. Then from the server we get the request, right? See, it says that this is not the right data which we are providing. The server doesn't have any data which you are asking for. That is the reason it's saying service unavailable. Service down.
I think it should give 422 unprocessable entity. I think
40
four
I
double two
think no. Let's see
unprocessable.
what's this service unavailable. Okay, let me see that too. Where did we go? Where did we see that? No, right. Okay. Sorry, what did you say? 422, right?
Huh.
422, double two, double two, double two. Mm, ah, unprocessable
Full
content. The
content.
request was well formed but was unable to be followed due to semantic errors. Okay. Let's see what 503 says. Mm, 503. We got 503, right? 50. Okay, so server is not ready to handle the request. Common causes are a server that is down for maintenance or overloaded. Uh, Note that together with the response, a user-friendly page explaining the problem should be sent. This response should be used for temporary. Okay, it says
If
the
server is
service.
down, na, if server is down, then we'll get the service temporary unavailable.
No, that is true. Temporary unavailable is one of the. What is it? One of the temporary unavailable. Temporary
Yes,
unavailable.
503.
No. HTTP header, if possible, contains.
Yes, yes, server that is down for maintenance. So 503 service unavailable or 503 is temporary unavailable. Both are same. I think.
Okay. Let me see why it is giving 503. Let me check why exactly it is giving 503 and not 422 or anything else. Let me go through this request once again and the information once again. And let me see where exactly and why exactly it is giving it a different service unavailable one. Maybe for maintenance or maybe overloaded. It says it's overloaded. The request itself is overloaded with the information. It says nothing. Service not to handle the request. It also says the handle the request, right? I mean, if it cannot handle the request, then we get this, right? And if the server has down, does not know how to handle.
Actually, we are sending the request, but server is down due to maintenance
Uh,
or some any
yeah,
other reasons
yeah, another
or
reasons.
temporary
But
down.
another reason can be that whatever we have entered, the
Yeah,
response
true.
data can is creating overloaded. That is
Overloaded.
also another reason that is
Another reason.
overloaded.
Still,
But
yeah,
it should give 400 series, na? Why 503?
400. We are giving no. We are giving the proper request body, right? We are not giving any improper request body here. See, we have the proper. We have the proper information in last name. Um, we have everything, every information which we are giving is correct. Where exactly we are going
Um,
wrong here? I mean, the post method is correct.
Large payload
Right.
can be the reason.
Yes,
Large
yes,
payload,
yes. That is what.
sending too much data
Too
might
much
break the
data.
gateway.
Yes.
I
So
mean, this
that
is
is the
what
reason.
ChatGPT says.
Yeah.
I think everything is correct,
Uh,
but server is temporarily unavailable to process this request. I think
correct. I mean,
that's why
server cannot
503 is.
handle. It also says server cannot handle. I mean, 422. Okay, let's go with 422. Let's see what 422 says. The request was well formed, but was unable to be followed due to semantic errors. But we are not making any semantic errors. We are not making any errors in our request, body data or anything. We are not making any. It's from the server which is not able to handle it. That is what it says. Like, okay.
Yes, Ashish, you're saying right, because
Mm,
last day I was trying to get some request, so
mm,
it was also giving me 500, 503.
yeah,
Okay, so and then I asked that person that he said yes. So there is some this is related to server only.
yeah. So, uh, so that is what I mean. If there is an overload on the server, if there is any overload on the server, maintenance.
So
It's
they
that is
said
the yeah.
they need to create the services
Yeah.
then only because there is something that they did not develop yet. So
Yeah.
and we are trying to work on it. So that's why it happens.
Yes. Yeah. It might. Yeah. True. So here, if you read this information, read this bit of information. Okay. See, maybe for maintenance. Okay, this is one of the option, or or maybe overloaded. Okay, any of these options might be affecting our response to get our response correctly. So that is the reason. I mean, when the server is under maintenance, or if our request is overloaded and they cannot process, the server cannot process it. But if you see the 422, this is well formed, but due to semantic errors, I don't see there is any semantic errors we have done here. In our request body, we haven't done any semantic errors. We have all the information that we have placed is correct. If we go with this add contact, let me go to this add contact. See, it's the same information. Let me run this. It has created same bit of information we are giving it in this add contact, but it's not able to handle it. The server itself is not able to handle it. Hope this is clear. But still, let me research on this. Let me see why we are not getting 422 and why we are getting 503. Because what Renu and sorry, other person, I'm not sure. Uh, they said is correct. Actually, that is true. But still, I'll research and on Saturday I'll give you an answer. Definitely, I'll give you an answer. Okay. And I request you all to research on it, please. You have this collection with you. You have the collection with you, so please do, yeah, research on it. I think uh, I can share you this. Okay, contact list. What we have in this collection. Okay, this is all variables which I have created. Okay, you can create from here. Right? That is fine. This is all the variables that I've created and the data which I've provided. Okay, I'll definitely come back on Saturday and I'll provide you the information. Okay. Any more questions? Any more queries? So we are clear with positive flow, combined flow, negative flow, right? Negative scenarios, I'll say the difference. I'll say the thin line of difference. But as of now, negative flow, positive flow, and combined flow, we are clear with it, right?
Yes.
Yes, Ashish.
Okay, great. So that is all for today. And have a lovely evening. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ashish. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.